So, last time in Cinderella Phenomenon, we beat Rod's route. So now, since we're playing in order of what is listed on the itch.io page, our next route that we're going to be playing is going to be Karma's route, and I am very excited for it, because, well, there's only one way but up after you play an incest route, so yeah, let's go! The bunny boy is back! Yes! Hello, I am back! And we are going to be doing Karma's route. Oh, let me adjust my screen so that I can read chat. Because Cinderella Phenomenon is always like this. Yeah, Karma time! I'm excited. I want to know what's up with Karma. I'm honestly excited for all of the routes. All of the guys in this look pretty interesting. I've even heard Rumple has an interesting backstory once you get into the nitty-gritty of it. So yeah, now we're gonna be doing Karma's route. And let me see, do I have a save file for that choice? I think I do. Yes, here we go. Alright. So I think since I'm reloading my save file, I heard that when you beat one of the routes, you unlock these two routes. But maybe it's because I didn't, since I'm reloading a save, maybe it's not unlocked on this, I don't know. So yeah, whenever we finish Rumples, I'll go and play through and get a save file caught up for this. But yeah, we're gonna get started with Karma's route. I missed most of Rod's route. Oof, gotta watch your playthrough. Well, the good thing is with otome game routes is that you can jump into any route whenever you want. So the start of a route is always a good route to jump in on. So yeah, we're going for Karma's route. I decided to go search for Karma as soon as I'm done with Mr. Broom. How's your day going, by the way, kippies? You been having a good day so far? As soon as it's done with me. He should be sitting at the bar of or at a temple. I find him at the usual table talking to Waltz, who has his hands in a box. Yeah, but I did want to know what happened in that route. Ooh, I see, yeah. I got very, what is the word? I had to nope out quite a few times playing Rod's route, so we might get this one done faster, unless this route is a lot longer than Rod's route. It's been good, considering I didn't start anything productive yet. Well, hey, sometimes you need to relax, you know? So that's good. Why, if it isn't the princess, lovely morning, isn't it? Yeah, I took a bit of a break in between Turtlehead and this, because I wanted to take a break, even though it wasn't that big of a thing to see, the sprite of the mouse in Turtlehead. I still wanted to take a break regardless, just because I know sometimes it can take a bit for me to, what is the word? For me to realize something's triggering me. So I took a break after that just to make sure, in case I did have a moment. So yeah, and I didn't. Also, I read that, Calliope, people think that Calliope is like taking drugs or something. That was the thing I read on Twitter before I went live, and I was like, what? What's going on? I started school Thursdays, so I do have a bit of stuff to do. Ooh, yeah, you're in art school, huh? So you're gonna be starting some new art projects? Why, if it isn't the princess, lovely morning, isn't it? It's the same as any other. Nonsense, every morning brings new opportunities, right, Walt? Yeah, right. Karma knows just what to say. Karma knows what's up. Every day is a new day to tackle new things. I guess so. Every day there's another chance for a good deed, princess. Right. Ah, yes. We finally were able to complete all of our 3 deeds in Rod's route, and now we're back to 0. And now Lucette probably doesn't know how to do good deeds again. No clever comments today, princess. I do so enjoy them. Maybe coming to Karma was a bad idea. I'd love to stay and offer advice, but Waltz and I better be off. We do have work to do. god, I love when Karma winks. They look so good. I mean that... You mean that you're going to put me to work? Work? I'm in my last semester, so it's a lot of preparing my portfolio and learning the business part of it. I have to make my CV/resume for one of my classes. Oh wow. I wonder, so like, are you planning to get like a job in art? I'm curious how it goes about like preparing your portfolio. I imagine like you need to like what is the word? I heard about those, what are they? Those booklets that you fill out to showcase your range of abilities. So is that a thing that you have to do, or is that what you had to do to get into art college? I think I've heard of it mostly as a way to get into art college, is you make like a sketchbook filled with variety of your art. Parfait asked us to pick us some provisions for the tavern. She asked us, but in the end it'll be me carrying everything. You'd make a lady carry everything? Karma suddenly stops and whirls to look at me with wide eyes. Oh. I can't say that I like the glimmer in his eyes. Oh, Karma sure changed a lot since the end of Assassination Classroom. Right? And they both have red hair too. And I stand both Karmas. How would you like to help, Princess Lucette? I'm sure this would count as one of your good deeds. Pretty sure that's not how it works. Yeah, what were you up to while I was gone, Twi? Oh, well, you're no fun. Helping Karma carry things does not sound pleasant, but... I'll go. Truly? Oh my, well, it seems I will not be requiring your assistance today. Princess, are you sure? Perhaps this might be considered good. Besides, I finally get to leave this place for the first time since I've been here. Oh, I did have to do a portfolio to enter my program, but well, I'm not too sure about all the things I have to do because I only had a few of my classes. I have to wait for the next week to know what I'm doing in all classes. Ooh, I see. Ooh. Oi, take good care of the princess, Karma. Oh, you did a short workout and stuff. I should really do that. I should really do workouts. Do you know of like a good workout for someone that doesn't do workouts? Whose body is probably like decaying in how it's not working out? Like, do you know any easy workouts to do? Maybe that you can do like if you're in the hospital or something? Of course. For the rest of the day, Karma takes me to different shops around the town, reading off of a long list and giving me the coins to buy things. I notice that the townspeople treat me nicely when the two of us are together. I don't understand why everyone likes Miss Karma so much, but maybe it's because they don't really know him. I mean, Karma is beautiful. Wouldn't you be like stumbling all over yourself to get to have a chance to be with Karma? We stop in the middle of the town and sit at a small cafe on the outskirts to take a break. Ooh, I really like this song. I don't know if this played during Rod's route. Miss Karma is still the picture of elegance. Why do you dress like a woman? Darling, not so loud. Yeah, please, Lucette. Why would you ever say that out loud? Why is this even a secret? Lucette? Do you not know? It's related to my curse. I mentioned that before, didn't I? Even if it wasn't a curse, you shouldn't say that out loud. Like, what if Karma's like trans? Like, can you imagine how terrible? Like, I would imagine the time period probably isn't that kind towards people that would be trans. And even nowadays, it's not all that good to be like, hey, why are you cross-dressing? Like, shut up. What was your curse again? Karma was one of the only people at the tavern who didn't share what his curse was. Can't think of anything specific. Maybe lunges or crunches. Crunches are like the ones where you have your hands behind your back and you kind of like curl up, right? What's lunges? Is knowing my curse even so important? Yeah, You know what my curse is, so tell me what yours is. You dragged me around town to help carry your things. But Princess, those weren't even my things. Yeah, I've been thinking actually about how if I had money, I would want to buy, what's that one Switch game called? Ring Fit Adventure? Because I watched a few people play it, and they say how they got tired, and I like how it has like a leveling system to it. Because I know whenever I try to do workouts, I get tired way too fast, and then I'm like, maybe I'm not fit for this. But I think it might just be because of what I tried to work out on might be the problem. Maybe I'm like working a bit too fast and not like, what is the word? Pacing myself good? Because I know I'm a really weak person. They weren't mine either. Okay, I'll tell you, though it's very sad. Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah! I don't think a curse is meant to be a happy thing. I remember back when the Wii was really popular, I had a Wii, and that did help me a lot with working out. It's kind of like taking a step and trying to get low. I really don't know how to describe it in words, sorry. Take a step and try to get low. Oh, like you're... I think we did an exercise like that in my theater class. Like you're gradually like you're bending, right? And you're gradually going down. Is it kind of like that? I have the beauty's curse. It's what forces people to fall in love with me every time they see my handsome face. Oh, beauty. So like Beauty and the Beast? Yeah, kind of. Oh, okay. So Karma's got the beauty curse, so that would be Beauty and the Beast. But would that correlate to being a beast with the curse? Yeah, what was... I should know about Beauty and the Beast since I recently watched Belle, which is pretty much anime Beauty and the Beast. But it seems more like the Beast is the problem with Beauty and the Beast, so I don't know what all correlates to Beauty's curse if it is Beauty and the Beast. Is that really a curse? That doesn't seem awful at all. Terrible, isn't it? Oh god, I don't know. I don't know what'll make Karma like me. How do you make guys like you? Oh, hi there, Blinded! Hello, hello, welcome back. I think I'll go with it's terrible, maybe? What? Most people don't agree with me. It does not make sense for a witch to cast a good curse on you. Well, I mean, there is pain in beauty, right? Because people will become like stalkers on you and stuff, right? I guess it doesn't, does it? Thank you, Princess Lisette. Another exercise you can do without any equipment. You can lean on a wall and try to stay in a sitting position. Lean on a wall and in a sitting position. I'm trying to imagine that. Let me like try that real fast. Lean on a wall and be in a sit. Like you're supposed to actually sit? Like you're supposed to sit while you lean, or? Plus, maybe it could be. Oh, it could be Sleeping Beauty. It could be Sleeping Beauty, yeah. I was thinking Beauty and the Beast, but that makes sense. So maybe if Karma doesn't break their curse in time, they'll fall asleep and never wake up, maybe? As if you had a chair under you, but without a chair. Oh, okay. So you're, okay, jumping jacks. That's what it's called? Yeah, I was asking about some easy workout tips for someone that doesn't work out and is typically bedridden. Why is he thanking me? I don't actually know if I've told you guys. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know that I stream from bed, right? Oh, hey! We did the right option! Still, it feels like I'm missing something. Is that really the entirety of his curse? But don't people fall in love with you when you're a woman as well? I thought you were just naming workout without equipment. Oh, you know. No, I was like asking for like some workout, like things to do. No, princess, that love is admiration or appreciation, sometimes lust. And when you're a man, they swarm to me like moths to light, become suffocating. I realized that because you said a few times you were in bed while you were streaming, yeah. I mean, I can walk around and stuff, but I'm pretty weak. I have a pretty weak body. Probably doesn't help that I don't work out. But I'd like to work out. I'd like to. Whom does it affect? The curse only affects women. It's a condition of the curse that they be a woman and that I be a man. It's part of the fairy tale. Which fairy tale? The one with... Oh. Karma suddenly stands up and points at a man selling red apples. Red apple like candies. Pulls me over, insisting that we try one. Oh, are these the apples covered in candy, or are these the candies that taste like apples? Because I love the candies that taste like apples. Like the caramel apples. Those are one of my favorite candies. I guess the workouts I suggested aren't simple, but they're easy to adapt to whatever level you want. Oh, I see. Well, thank you, Twi. I tried to bring up the subject of the curse again, but to no avail. Karma somehow manages to be distracted for the rest of the day and is able to effectively dodge my questions. Is Karma hiding something from me? Why would he? I thought pairing up meant helping each other break our curses. Oh. Does he not want to break his curse? What's with all the men not wanting to break their curse? Karma may be a bitch, but not this one. I love all karmas. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Goldie! Hello, hello, hello! Hi, how's your day going, Goldie? You excited for karma time? Oh! Nya, 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 nya. Hey, what's wrong with Karma from Assassination Classroom? Nothing. Karma from Assassination Classroom is perfect, and I adore him. He's my husband. Beppis. I was playing Identity V with friends all day. Ooh, having some fun. Speaking of, I was thinking of playing, well, I wasn't thinking, I put it on the schedule. I'm going to be playing Dead by Daylight next week. So I'm excited for that. It's been a while since I played an Identity V kind of like game. Oh, you love is real? Ooh, I'm excited. Yeah, Karma looks really nice, and I'm curious about their backstory. Oh, thank you so much, Lucette. You are in dire need of these supplies. I supervised her well, didn't I? Of course, dear. He did not do anything. Princess, you wound me. It's the truth. But we had that nice talk. You avoided half of my questions. Karma lets out an exasperated sigh that becomes a very forced yawn. I'm going to go to bed. Today has been a tiring day. Please excuse me, darlings. Sleep well. Speaking of, for everyone that's been keeping up with the Cinderella phenomenon playthrough, or that has played Cinderella phenomenon, who's your favorite character? I'm still not even sure who my favorite character is, to be honest. I guess I'll know the more I play through each route. Sleep well, Karma. Karma walks away, leaving me alone with Parfait. Root character or just general character? I guess both. Your favorite root character or your favorite general character? Whichever. He's not so bad, you know. I don't know why I agreed to work with him. Give him his chance, Lisette. I did not get a single good deed today. Root? Waltz. General? Varg. Ooh. Oh yeah, I remember you really like Varg. Ooh. Yeah, I'm excited for Waltz. Is anyone surprised they both have black hair and emo haircut? Right? Varg even looks similar to Waltz too. It's not just about the act, but about the intentions. I mean, there's never anything wrong with standing the emo boys, because they're just like, they're a soft, sad boy. That's always a good archetype. Like Sebastian from Stardew Valley? I love him. Did Karma just use me then? I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. Tonight, I'll rethink my partnership. Waltz has the gay gloves. How can I not love him? Wait. I need to look at Waltz's sprite again to be sure if it's the gay gloves or if it's the whore gloves. Very, very important distinction. I barely sleep that night. When I wake up the next day, my body is sore from carrying supplies around town yesterday. Oh, what's the distinction? So like, whore gloves are kind of like, the best explanation for whore gloves is, child's gloves from Genshin Impact. They're like the really short gloves that like end their cut around the wrist area. And it's like everyone that wears those is a whore. So yes, child has whore gloves. I barely sleep that night. When I wake up the next day, my body is sore from carrying supplies around town yesterday. The more I think about Karma, the more my anger boils inside of me. Glares, and I don't know the story, but I feel like there's a connection between the characters. Waltz's fucking whore gloves. Oh my god. Oh, he's got whore gloves? Oh no. Honestly, whore gloves are slapping. I want whore gloves. The closest I have to whore gloves are my Joker from Persona 5 gloves, and those aren't even as close to whore gloves as what Akechi has. But they do make me feel sexy when I wear them. How could I not have gotten a good deed yesterday? Like, if you've never worn red gloves before, it's such a power move. Every time I put on my Joker gloves, I just feel so powerful. Maybe I should work out with the red gloves on. Then I'll, like, do better. I don't know. I decide to find him first thing in the morning. I see him at his usual table, once again staring out the window. A dark aura seems to surround him, and I notice that no one's sitting with him today. Karma. Go for him, go for him. Those are the prettiest gloves. Oh no, or oh yes. Maybe a little bit of both. Oh no, he's hot. And oh yes. Please smack me with your gloves. White gloves make me feel like the most elegant person in existence. God, I love the look of white gloves, but I would hate to wear white gloves. Like, that would be so easy to get it dirty. Oh my lord. But like those rubber gloves that they wear at like the doctors and everything, I always think they look so good. Like you can see like the knuckle and everything. I don't know, something about seeing the knuckles on gloves looks really cool to me. I don't know why, but it looks really cool. He keeps staring outside, and his eyes are glassy. Karma. I unironically love listening to anime music while working out, Elio. So if red gloves are what does it for you, go ahead. Yo, let's go. That's gonna be my secret. I'm gonna get swole off of red gloves. Right gloves? Yamato Hotsui? Don't call me out like that. Oh my god. You're right, Yamato does have white gloves, and I love that one image of him, like, taking off his gloves with his teeth. Literally everything Yamato wears is just, my god. His military boots, his white gloves, his long jacket. Who gave him the right to have that much drip? Oh, Princess, good morning. It's far from a good morning. I didn't sleep at all last night. Oh, mood, Lucette. What a shame. It's easy, but fortunately, if you wear them for a while, you get used to it and know what actions to avoid. Ooh. Elio hand fetish review? At least it's better than a foot fetish. Oh my god, I can't imagine people with foot fetishes. Like, I don't know, feet just gross me out. Like socks? Ugh. His voice is surprisingly cold, his tone rather dismissive. I was too busy thinking about yesterday. You told me that helping you would maybe help me complete a good deed. I point at my necklace, which hasn't changed at all since I received it. Do you see? Not another piece. Cinderella phenomenon streams are the ones that make Elio reveal the darkest parts of himself. God, you're right. Last time I revealed I was a sow fucker. God. You get pieces added to your glass slipper. That's charming. I was thinking that pairing up with you was a bad idea. What? Princess, did you just say that you were paired up with me? Yeah, I shipped me and you together. I wrote a fanfiction of us. I did. You must have known. Oh my, I assumed that you just wanted to help me. I didn't know you were pairing up with anyone. That's right, I never told him directly I wanted to partner up. Should I have? Maybe you should tell someone that you're partnering up with them? Instead of just silently doing that, Lucette? Yeah, you should have told him. Well, it doesn't matter what I say anymore, because I do not think you can help me. Princess, I can't help you do a good deed. You have to do them on your own. I can present you with opportunities, though. I don't know if it's any better, honestly. I don't know. I feel like feet fetishes tend to be, like, a bit more sexual in nature. I just like how gloves look. Distant stare at spoiler from JoJo. Eh? A what? Oh, I'm a Sal fucker. I like Sal from Wada Nohara. Was our last reveal last time, which is my truest shame. Opportunities? We start first by thawing the ice around your heart. So I should tell my GF of 12 years that we're dating? That's tough though, cause she doesn't know me. 20! There's a character in JoJo that likes hands, that's all I'll say. Oh. Oh my. Oh my. I see. So even Karma is calling me the Ice Princess. Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't get the Elsa curse. At least I speak my mind and don't pretend to be someone I'm not. And I do not promise things I can't deliver either. Princess, I do believe you misinterpreted my words yesterday. Speaking of, wasn't there a new Disney movie that recently came out? Like, Encanto or something? That's like a Disney movie, right? Or am I a dumbass? This is not my fault. Patience is a virtue. Now, if you could, I would like some time alone. I did not sleep well yesterday. Yo, we're both not sleeping well? Or maybe we should sleep together. Didn't sleep well? Oh dear, that makes all three of us. Parfait? Oh, you. I fucking know the next thing Rumple's gonna say. Oh my god. I turn around and see Rumple appear at the front door. He's gonna say the same exact thing I just said. He strides towards the table with a confident grin on his face and then takes another seat. Karma lets out a sigh. And Kanto is so fucking good. Don't get me started. I watched it yesterday with my friend. Big brain rot. If I start talking, I'll not stop. Oh damn. I really need to watch Kanto. I watched Belle recently, and that was kind of like Beauty and the Beast, but it was weird. Have I gone on a rant about Belle on stream yet? I feel like I haven't. Elio, let's watch Kanto? Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. I don't know if you're right, but you're not a dumbass. Thank you, Twy. Also, thank you for the hydrate as well. I don't think you did. I was probably trying not to go into spoilers, but I thought Belle was a weird movie. Like, I really related to Suzu. That hydrate was because of your remark about karma. I had a feeling. So yeah, I watched Belle in theaters recently, and it was a really weird plot. There was like this specific plot that they start going after at the very start of the movie, and I was just like, what? Because they're like trying to dox this one guy because he like broke into the singer's concert. And they're like, oh, let's find out who he is IRL. And I'm like, why are you trying to dox this dude? I'm not gonna say who the person is, because that's like, they find out later in the movie who it is. But when they find out, it's even more fucked up that they were trying to dox that kind of person because, oh, they broke into their Gaia Online concert. It was such a weird plot point to have. At the same time, I could really relate to the protagonist of Belle. I don't know if I would recommend it or not. It was a really weird movie. And it seemed a lot like the people that were making it were trying to make Beauty and the Beast, but if they were VTubers and it was anime. So yeah, I still don't know how to feel about it. But Suzu was big relatable. I relate a lot to Suzu, especially kind of this autonomy between her and like her online persona. I feel like I'm a bit more real as a VTuber than Belle was, but I do know that there is a definite difference in personality between me online and me IRLs. Doesn't Suzu mean Belle? Yep. She actually made her online avatar name be Belle because she's like, oh, Suzu translates to Belle. Yep. Yeah, it's a weird movie. I guess if you like the director's other movies, like I think they did Summer Wars, you might like it. But I thought what the specific plot point of like doxing the dude that broke into her concert was really weird. And there's like this guy that has like the magical doxing beam, and he's like, I'm gonna dox you in front of like all these people and show you who you are. Like, what the fuck? What if the person is like, I don't know. What if I don't think doxing someone should ever be something you should do. And it was for such a stupid reason too. Like, what the fuck? Magical doxing beam. Yeah, literally he had like a thing attached to his hand that was like an emerald, and it shot out like a green beam to like dox the person. It was so weird. Foul man, what are you doing here? You flirt with a man once and he hates you, is that it? No, you flirt with a man and then you insult him unnecessarily. Oh, I thought that was all in good fun. Something about the expression on Rumple's face tells me that's not true at all. Acting differently online and in person is natural. As long as you're not an a-hole, it's fine. Yeah, like, IRL, I think my social anxiety is a lot more noticeable. Like, I make jokes about anxiety and stuff on stream, and I have debilitating social anxiety. Like, honestly, I can't go outside by myself because I start getting anxious that something will happen to me. And if I'm in crowds, I will literally have a breakdown. I'm literally, like, those scenes in Persona 5, when you start talking to Futaba, like, I relate to that. I relate to that hardcore. Are they always going to be at each other's throat now? But like online, I can talk a bit easier. I can be a bit more social online, so I like that. But I still definitely, I can tell that I'm still a bit more reclusive. What are you doing here, Rumple? Oh, speaking of, during Doki Doki, we were talking about how I need to take the initiative and talk to my friends more. I wound up talking in one of my friends' servers and telling them that I missed them, and they invited me to a new server that they made, and I got to talk to them a little bit yesterday, so that made me really happy. I couldn't help but overhear that you were looking for a partner, Princess. Well, that's super nice. Yeah, I'm so happy that I did that. I was so nervous when I typed it, and then they DM'd me a link to the Discord, and I was like, ah. And then they were talking about how they love me, and like if I need them for anything to let them know, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Glad for you. Thank you. It's really crazy because the whole time I was like, what if they are like, who the hell are you? But no, they were really nice and welcoming me back nicely, even though I hadn't talked to them in a while. So that made me really happy. I thought I might offer my assistance, since I know that I can make you far happier than this fool over here. Oh my god. Rumble! Would you like me to hit you again? What is the problem, sir? I only came to provide assistance where you cannot. Rumple turns to me, grabs my hand, and winks at me. Oh my god, Rumple! What do you say, Princess? We could be wonderful partners. And in no time at all, I swear, I would have your heart aflutter. Before I can slap his hand away, Karma slaps him instead. Ooh, he's going in for the kill. I can't help the surprise on my face. Would you like another slap? I'm in no mood for pleasantries today. If you haven't spoken to someone in a while, they're just gonna be happy to hear from you. There's no reason for them to be mad at you or anything. I know you're right. I really do know you're right. But it's that anxiety. Anxiety-riddled brain be like, brr. But yeah, I'm glad that they were really receptive to me talking to them. Made me really happy. And I even made plans for after the stream to hang out. So that made me really happy. And then I'm also gonna talk to Yen after I go off stream to try and figure out a day to hang out with them, too. I don't know how I ever mistook you for a lady. You're the most brutish man here. Oh, shut the fuck up, Rumple. A slap for each cheek, darling. Would you like a third? It's gonna be on your other cheek. Rumple stands abruptly from the table and glares at Karma. I can almost see electricity bouncing between the two of them as they stare over my head at each other. I see Jurian walking towards us with a stern look on her face. I would never hurt a person unnecessarily. I don't resort to violence. My, then that gives me all the openings I need. Let's go. Yeah, it's that anxiety of, but what if they really are angry and I assumed that they wouldn't be and now they hate me? Yeah. It doesn't help I've had a few moments where I would like pop into calls and be like, hi! And then people would go silent and like my head would start thinking, I'm like, oh my god, did I ruin their moment with each other? Did I ruin, you know, their fun times together? Am I a downer? Am I a downer? Anxiety brain is not, it's not a fun thing to deal with. Slap Rumple or stand up for Rumple? Well, considering we're on Karma's route, I'm gonna assume we slap Rumple. He's not drinking his respect women and respect non-binary people juice today. I lean forward to slap Rumple from his blind spot. Oh no, Karma looks sad. Both of the men turn to stare at me. I look at the red spot I left on Rumple's cheek and wince. I don't think I ever slapped a person for anyone else before. My chest feels slightly heavy. Princess. Respect woman. You guys have been drinking your respect women juice, right? If you don't, you'll wind up becoming a magical death pair character. You don't want that to happen. You're being ridiculous. I've told you many times that I don't appreciate your flirting, and Karma doesn't either. Such a persistent man needs to be slapped a few times. I never drink. Goldie! It's hydrate or dihydrate, Goldie. Rumple put a hand to his cheek and stares at me, distraught. You deserve that. Alright, what's happening over here? Jurian comes to stand in front of us, her expression stern. Rumple's being a simp again. And he's being a terrible guy, too. Nothing, I was just showing myself out. Excuse me. Rumple leaves and I'm alone with Karma. He slumps back down into his chair. I mean, what he got is a slap from Lucette. Maybe I should stop drinking. You wanna get slapped by Lucette? I wanna get slapped by Karma. He got like 2 slaps from Karma. Hell yeah, boy! After making sure that he won't do anything rash again, Jurian leaves us. I told you guys how I tried paying people to punch me when I was in school, right? I've never known the touch of someone's hand against my face. I leave Karma sitting there by himself and return to the front of the tavern, where Annis has more chores waiting for me. Today I had more work as a server, which is still better than working with Mr. Broom. Look me in the eyes and say that again. Look me in the eyes and think again if that's gonna change my mind about not hydrating. If you don't hydrate, you'll turn into Reverie from Magical Death Pair, Goldie. Do you really want that? The usual people are at the tavern, and I overhear conversations as I work. At one point, Garland walks over to the bar, and Anna serves him a drink. Oh, I didn't get points. Oh, let me reload. I guess I shouldn't slap him. Alright, no slaps for Rumple. Yeah, no, I asked people to punch me. I even offered to pay them money if they would punch me just because. I like saw kids getting in fights at school and I was like, I want to know how that feels. Like I'm sure I won't like it, but I won't know unless I get punched, right? I don't know. I had some screws loose in my head back then. But yeah, I tried offering like $5 to someone if they would punch me. And they were like, nope, not gonna punch you. I asked quite a few people to punch me. I asked my friends to punch me too, and I'm like, please, I I just want to know. I just want to know what it feels like. And yeah, no one took the bait. No one punched me. No matter how annoying Rumple is, I don't think he deserves to be abused so much. Besides, Karma doesn't usually lash out like this. I moved to stand in front of Rumple. Princess. He has a cool hoodie, cool scars, and I get to date Lily. No! You should not like me in Reverie, Goldie. Didn't take the bait. Sounds like you were trying to get them expelled. No, I just wanted to know what it felt like to get punched. Like, I would have been like, yeah, let's go into the bathroom. Let's go into the bathroom. No one can see us. You can punch me. You know, and yeah. Then we're good. They punched me and took my money. I can live with the simping Elio. Well, damn. I really fucked up. But no, I guess now that I look back on it in that lens, I can see why no one decided to punch me. Also, my mom worked at the school, so if my mom found out, they'd probably get in trouble real bad. This is pathetic, Karma. I know you're not in the mood for pleasantries, but this is no excuse to hurt Rumple. Princess, please move. You're acting like a petulant child. Fine, you're right. I wasn't expecting him so easily admit to a mistake. I turned to Rumple. I was only standing up for you, Rumple, because Karma is annoying me. I looked down at my necklace, but there's no extra piece. So, that wasn't a good deed either. Alright, what's up? Okay, let's skip. Wait. Did I get? I don't think I saw the crystal pop up. Oh, nothing, my sweet. I was just showing myself out. Thank you, Princess Lucette. Rumple leaves and I'm alone with Karma. It was the right choice though? Oh, okay. He slumps back down into his chair. After making sure he won't do anything rash again, Jurian leaves us. Oh, there we go. There's the crystal. I'm sorry, Princess. It appears I really was being a child. Rumple is harmless, and there's no reason for me to act as uncivilized as I did. What would Father think? Yep, there we go. There we go. Father? Oh, it's nothing, but please, if you would, can you give me some time alone? Fine. I leave Karma sitting there by himself and return to the front of the tavern, where Annis has my chores waiting for me. Oh! Thank you for the hydrate. It's hydrate time. Whoa! Today I have to work as a server, which is still better than working with Mr. Broom. The usual people are at the tavern, and I overhear conversations as I work. At one point, Garland walks over to the bar, and Anna serves him a drink. He looks sullen, and I watch him curiously for a few moments. Oh my god, it's Claude Von Regan. Hi! It's been a while since I've seen him. Then I notice that he's staring at Jurian, who is talking sternly to two drunken men continuously clacking their bottles together at a table. If you make too much of a scene here, you're going to bother the other customers. But the same people are here all the time, eh? Oh, speaking of, I was wondering. Do not insult my boy Claude like that. I mean, he looks fine. He looks alright. I was wondering, are there any games you guys are looking forward to that are coming out? I saw this one game that got released recently, and it looks really cool. Do you guys ever get that feeling when like a game comes out but you don't have the money? where you're caught between, should I watch someone play it because I really want to know what the game is like, or should I wait until I have money to buy it? Cause that is me right now with the game, cause I like looked at the Steam page and I actually like watched the trailer for it, and I kept clicking it so I could read everything. I was like psychoanalyzing the trailer. I'm like, it looks like something like Idol Manager, which is like one of my favorite games to play. And it's like about being a streamer. I forgot what the name of it was. What was the name of it? It got linked on the Discord. It was something streamer. Something streamer. But I looked it up on Steam and I watched the trailer and it looks super fun. The Needy Streamer, yes, Needy Streamer, that's the game. That's the game. Yeah, it looks super fun. I, the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative. I mean, kind of look forward to that game. Stray and I, the Somnium Files too, I suppose. Oh, it's Stray. I've done that with games that were only on non-Nintendo consoles. Ooh. Oh yeah, I played it. Oh, you played Needy Streamer? Is it fun? Or is it not? I did like mention that I wanted to play it and someone told me to wait until reviews were out and I was like, okay, but it looks fun. Oh, Stray. Oh, you're talking about Stray. It's a game where you're a cat and you walk around, no idea what the objective is, but you're a cat. I mean, that's more than enough to know. You become a cat? I'm sold. It's like Danganronpa 2 and V3, which in respect, yeah. I see. We're not bothering anyone, hon. Garland looks so agitated. What's wrong with him? Yeah, I was debating looking up the game on YouTube because I'm really interested in that game. The Needy Streamer game. So I was like, well, maybe I should watch someone play it on YouTube. And then I was like, but what if I buy it? And what if I want to stream it? That's always the streamer's dilemma. Like, should I watch someone play this or should I wait until I'm able to play it? I'll not stand to have you call me that again. Listen up, woman. You may not have been a knight at the palace before, but you got no such title now. Personally and completely personally, it's not a game for me. And yeah, also the amount of self-harm in the game. Like, I know it's the point with the sanity and stress system, but oh my god, just not for me. Oh, the self-harm? Is it shown on screen? Ooh. The streamer's dilemma is way nicer than the prisoner's dilemma. Oh boy, if self-harm is shown on screen, then that, ooh. Garland stands up and I can see silent anger in his eyes. A few people at the bar look up at him with worry. I may have no title, but I still demand respect. Sir Garland? It's not completely shown, it's more like abstract. IDK, how to explain it. Is it kind of like with the mosaic? Is it like mosaicked? Are you okay? He looks back at us, almost like he's coming out of a trance. I'm fine. Sorry about that, ladies. He sits back down, glancing once more at Jurian as she continues speaking to the men. They glance at Garland warily, their expressions more somber. Why was he acting that way? Garland's usually more composed. Princess, is something on your mind? No. I brush off thoughts of what just transpired from my mind as I return to my work. But yeah, I guess I tend to not pay attention to games coming out unless like other people link them to me. Cause you guys ever get the thing when you don't have the money to buy games and when you see games you kind of get depressed cause you know you can't get it? So I've actually been avoiding like game news websites. I used to constantly be on like Silicon Era looking up what new games are coming out, but now it just makes me depressed. Hours go by and my body protests to all the learning I have to do. Even though I had to carry a lot around town yesterday, it was nice to be out for a while. Maybe I'm better off helping him just to avoid the chores in there. At least that stops me from being worked to the bone. Oh, Princess, you're doing very well today. I always perform like this. But today you're delivering everything really quickly. Oh, let me read this but not say it out loud just in case. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, jeez. Oh my god. Do you mean to say that I don't perform well on other days? No, Princess. I only mean to say that today your performance is even better than normal. Yeah, so like not necessarily shown, but also not shown. I see. Yeah, I guess if anything I might watch a playthrough of it, then probably not play it. That way I can just stop whenever. Is that supposed to be a compliment? I walk away from Annis, who stares after me sadly. If she wanted to give me a compliment, she could have said something that wasn't so backhanded. As the tavern clears for the day, I finally have time to sit down and relax. As I'm sitting there, Waltz pulls up a chair and sits in front of me. Hello, Princess. Yeah, that's horror gloves. 100%, that's horror gloves. I heard from Annis that you were excellent at your job today. Congratulations on improving. Waltz is a horror, confirmed. Princess? So, you're mocking me now too? Princess, I think you're taking things too seriously. The intention of a compliment is to, well, compliment someone. We're not making fun of you. You're implying that I'm not necessarily as good at this. We never said you weren't good at this, only that you were better today. Let me give you an example. I put on puppet shows for kids. Sometimes the children come to me and say that the show was even better than usual. So, the children are telling you that your shows aren't normally satisfactory. Not at all. Children always smile regardless of whether they really like the show. So long as you're trying your best, that's all that matters. The intention of a compliment is to compliment someone. I'm sorry, Waltz, have you not heard of imposter syndrome? The people in the bar are always smiling when you deliver food to them, aren't they? No one likes me here. Maybe if you smiled, they would smile back. Oh my god. Don't... I'm not going to smile for any of them. I don't owe them anything. I know that wasn't what Waltz meant when he said that, but it just reminds me, you guys see those people that are like, oh my, you're frowning, you better smile. And like how when mask mandates came out, people are all like, oh, now I can't see if you're smiling at me or not. Like, I will frown if I want to. I am working a 10 to 5. I don't need to smile at you. Fuck off. You don't need to owe anyone a smile. Can people die out, please? Thank you. I've never encountered that kind of person, but I heard of it. Oh, my uncle does it all the time. I will walk out of my room, and the first thing I will hear is either, oh, you're live? Which is another thing that I hate to hear, because I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm depressed. And the first thing I hear is, oh, you're still alive. Like, great thing to say to someone, honestly. never say that to someone. If you've ever said that, don't say that to someone. Don't be like my uncle. So he will either say that, or he'll be like, oh, like, I'll say something about how, like, I'm tired or something, and he'll be like, why are you tired? You don't do anything but be in your room on the computer all day. And if not that, he'll be like, oh, why are you frowning? Come on, smile. And I swear, that's like all the conversations that I have with him. He hasn't even wished. I told you guys how my uncle hasn't even wished me a happy birthday yet, right? And how on my birthday, the only thing he said to me was, oh, have you found a job yet? God, my dad does that too. Ooh, yeah. That sucks. Yeah, what a piece of shit, yeah. My uncle is... He's prime example of a boomer, to put it lightly. Any smile that isn't owed is fake. Princess. I'm leaving, Waltz. I want some time to myself. I walk upstairs to my bedroom, pointedly ignoring the look of sadness on Waltz's face. What are you gonna do up there, Lucette? Be on your computer all day? I've been sleeplessly laying on my bed for hours. Sometimes I hear the sounds of people walking through the hallway. Who would be up at this time of night? Waltz, baby! Disintegrates. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Goldie! I need to leave and get some fresh air. It's eerily quiet at night. Get in the bread, BRB. Oh yeah, go get that bread, Goldie. Burn that bread alive. I stop when I hear faint sounds coming from outside. What's that? Well, best thing to do is always to go outside. Whenever there's a prompt of like, oh, just do what you're doing right now, or go do something different. Typically, it's the one where you do something different, right? Well, I did say I needed some fresh air. No point in backing out now. Remain inside, actually? Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Wow, I'm wrong. Yee. Go get that bread, Goldie. Thank you. On second thought, maybe it would be dangerous. What, would we get killed if we went outside? I turn and see Delora looking at me with amusement flickering in her eyes. Did you come down to visit Mr. Broom or something? I didn't know you two had gotten so close. We haven't. Aaliyah low-key roasted me not leaving my comfort zone. Listen, Twy, I don't leave my comfort zone either. You don't need to leave your comfort zone. There's a reason why it's called a comfort zone, because it brings you comfort. People are like, oh, get out of your comfort zone. Like, no. Maybe if I want to, but you don't have to. It was a joke, Princess. You really don't have a sense of humor, do you? I think it's you who does not have the sense of humor. Snappy as a crocodile, as always. So, what are you doing down here? Couldn't sleep? Me too. What is with everyone being unable to sleep? This is like the 4th person that has said they've been unable to get any sleep. Is the Sandman, like, dead or something? I heard some sounds. I just wanted to see where they were coming from. Sounds? Are you really spooked by some sound from the forest? Or are you just too curious for your own good? I love Delora, but I hate that line, you really don't have a sense of humor. Yeah. I don't like when people point that out. Curiosity killed the cat, you know. Sleeping Beauty? Maybe. I can laugh about everything, just not with everyone. Yeah. I didn't ask for your opinion, witch. Well, the both of us could use some fresh air, don't you think? I stare at her in surprise. Okay. How does this raise Karma's affection, though? Come on, I know a place we can go. Delora and I eventually find ourselves in the forest. Those sounds like metal against metal. Well, I guess with you being partnered with Karma, you would find out eventually. Excuse me? I get the answer to my question when we walk through the trees and come into a clearing. I know I've already said this, but I always really like how they change the lighting in certain areas. I love when otome games, or just visual novels or games in general, kind of put a little filter over the sprites depending on the kind of lighting areas you go into. I heard there was a program you could do that with for your VTuber avatar too, but I think I don't use the program that's compatible with it, but God, I really want to use that because I love lighting effects on stuff like this. I finally see where the sounds are coming from. Oh, it's Karma versus Claude Von Regan. Two men standing in a clearing, swords clashing. One of the men is Garland, who is poised with a sword. Takes me a moment to realize that the other is Karma, who isn't in a dress. God, Karma's smirk though. Karma's smirk. Looking good. So, it was he who was with Waltz that night? Neither he nor Garland noticed us at first. I like the music. I think this is new music too. I don't think I heard this in Rod's route either. Princess, you're staring. I mean, Karma looks attractive. Look at that smirk. Of course I am. What is all of this? A practice session. Karma's a very talented swordsman, and he practices at night with either Jurian or Garland, depending on who's not on patrol. Karma can use his sword that well? The king told me once that only knights could have such skill. Just who is Karma? An assassin. Oh, if it isn't the princess. His voice is nothing like the feminine voice I always hear from him. Karma actually sounds like a man. I notice him looking at me in between his strikes with a little smile. God, he looking good! How does he remain so composed and steady with a distraction? Princess. Karma quickly finds an opening in Garland's hesitant stance and then pins him to the ground with his sword, still smiling. To be distracted is to die, Garland. I know. The ability to see distractions and then put them in the back of your mind is only one. It is one every knight should hone. Don't worry, Elio. I noticed that. Who is Karma, an assassin, LMAO? I'm glad you picked up on it, Twy. You must know everything that is happening around you, but only deal with the pertinent things. Yes, sir. Karma straightens, sword in hand. Moments later, Garland stumbles to his feet and gives an obedient bow. Karma nods at him before sheathing his sword. A slow melancholy begins to creep into my heart. Speaking of, well, not really speaking of. I say that a lot. I say speaking of as a way to, like, go into another conversation topic. Oh, shut up, phone. Don't do that. Ugh, that scared me. Oh, anyway, what was I talking about? I was gonna ask what are some games that, you guys like to play as kids? Because I was thinking, I know it's like a bit too soon. Yeah, that's my alarm to message a friend. Yeah. So I will be messaging a friend later. But yeah, I was thinking, I know it's a bit too soon to think about it, but I always like planning ahead for stuff. Because I wasn't sure what to do for my birthday, next year. since the past 2 years have been doing 1-bit heart and 1-beat heart. And I know if Miwashiba ever came out with any other games, since I played all of their games on stream, I would immediately play it whenever it comes out. So I was thinking for my birthday to maybe play like a game that I played as a child. And I was like thinking on what games to play. And like I was thinking like maybe Pokemon Yellow or like what was some, Dot Hack or Kingdom Hearts, stuff like that. I was just a little curious. What were your guys' childhood games? Because I think like games you play as a kid kind of really impact you as a person. I feel like if you if you know me through Pokemon Dot Hack and Kingdom Hearts, I still have taste in a lot of stuff that has similar stuff in it, even nowadays as an adult. So it's something that I like to think about. For some reason, seeing this sword practice makes me nostalgic, though I'm not sure why. Like, you can really tell how a person is just by the stuff that they like. I actually remember I was watching a video, because I don't have the money for it. Don't hate on me. The Homestuck creator came out with like a VN, and I didn't have the money to buy it, but I wanted to see what it was like. So I watched a video, and at the very start of the VN, it was talking about how they hang up their interests, and how interests say a lot about you as a person and the kinds of things you like. And the more I was reading it, I was like, yeah, I agree with that. I really do. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Tales of Symphonia, and Super Smash Bros. Melee. I never played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, but yeah, Symphonia and Melee were definitely childhood games for me. What are you practicing for? I played like a lot of RPG games when I was a kid. I played like Radiata Stories and the Tales of games, obviously, Dot Hack, Kingdom Hearts. What were some other RPG games I really liked playing? I played a lot of PS2 RPG games. To protect, Princess. Knowing the sword is the same as knowing the shield. It's a means to protect. Say those are the most noteworthy ones I had when I was a kid on the GameCube. Yeet. Let me see. Oh yeah, Pokemon Coliseum was another big one for me as a kid. I played Pokemon Coliseum a lot. And Kirby 64. That was like my favorite Nintendo 64 game. To protect? I think I remember having this kind of conversation with them before. I never figure out how to counter an opponent when they're mere inches from my face. My commander called that one the enemy's kiss, a standoff where your eyes lock onto your opponents because of the proximity. The best way to counter that is to feint the sword in the opposite direction. It throws your opponent off because they're not looking. Oh, that makes sense, but the enemy's kiss? What a name. It seems so dramatic for a sword move, doesn't it? On the Wii, Sonic Colors, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World, and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Oh, my Wii games. Oh, yeah, I was really into a lot of Wii games. So obviously, Tales of Symphonia for one. And then Fragile Dreams was another game that I was super into. And then, Trauma Center. I love the Trauma Center games. Oh my god. And like, as a kid, like when I was in 5th grade, I was obsessed with Xenosaga. I really liked Xenosaga. And then, what were some other games I really liked as a kid? I'm trying to remember all those RPG games I played. Oh, Otoge Shadow King. I actually kind of want to stream Otoge Shadow King someday. Swordplay is dramatic though, isn't it? Isn't the most effective swordplay not meant to be flashy? Princess, I didn't notice you there. Good morning, Princess. Well, the most effective swordplay cannot be predicted. The commander says it needs to be robust. Oh, and the Game Boy. That was another one that I played a lot of games for as a kid. The Game Boy Advance. Hamtaro Ham Ham Heartbreak. Legitimately a really good game. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Golden Sun. What were some other ones? Oh my god. And Quick. Sometimes swordplay can look like dancing though. Which is why some think that professionals are flashy. Oh, let me turn down the volume here. I think the game audio is a bit too loud for my taste. That seems unnecessary. Everyone has their own methods, their own skills. All of us knights fight for different reasons as well. Oh, Mega Man Battle Network? Oh my god, I was obsessed with Mega Man Battle Network. That was another really big game for me. Oh my god. So just too recent to count as a kid, but the DS, 3DS, the Professor Layton and Ace Attorney series, Okami Den, and Smash Bros. For 3DS. Notice a trend? All of the Smash games. Yeah, Ace Attorney was like a high school game for me. I remember playing that on the Wii. I had it on WiiWare. That was fun. That game was kinda like what made me realize that I really like voice acting stuff. Cause I played through it with my friends and we would take turns like voicing each character and stuff, and it was really fun. Isn't it to protect all of us in the palace? Well, yes, but we protect everyone in the castle for different reasons, Princess. The knights protect for different reasons. I turned to Karma. But Karma, you're not a knight. No, I am most definitely not, but since Garland and Jurian begged me to teach them, I've somehow become their mentor. Devil Survivor is almost 18, which is why I don't include it. Yeah, I remember... when did I get Devil Survivor? I think I got that around when I was living with one of my friends. Because it was before I moved in with my aunt, because I remember I made jokes about... I was immature. I made jokes about moving in with someone and playing Devil Survivor when they're like really religious. So yeah, that was... I forget how old I was when I got Devil Survivor. But it was somewhere around them. Quite a few years ago. Yeah, Karma looks really good with this spray. There's no way Garland and Jurian would do that. I really like Karma's design. It's so good. After all, the both of them were both the best knights in NGL before they were stripped of their titles. Karma actually speaks the truth. Jurian and I really did have to get down on our knees and beg for him to instruct us. What? Karma always looks good? Excuse me? I mean, you're right. Is Karma really so talented? So you're finally impressed with me. What do you think, Princess? And the picture of elegance in this outfit, aren't I? Of course, you look just like a prince. You know, I don't know why you and Rumple fight so often. You really are quite similar. There are also some Naruto, Bleach, and Dragon Ball games in Gen 3 for Pokemon. Oh, Gen 5 was mine. Gen 2 and Gen 5 were like my Pokemon gens. Those were my hyperfixation gens. Gen 2 was me when I was a kid. I played through that game like 4 times. And then Gen 5, I still cry. Don't compare me to that fool. He has no class. Just because you come from different backgrounds doesn't mean he has less class. Now that I'm back, I gotta say that the last thing I heard before getting food was Elio making a bad decision. And if that doesn't sum up the wonderful Cinderella phenomenon stream experience, then I don't know what does. Yeah, Cinderella phenomenon is just proof that I don't know how to flirt with people. So the reason you were so tired today is because you do these practices at night? Oh, I just remembered this one game. Since we were talking about games we played as kids that we like, I just remembered this one game. Has any of you ever played Evolution Worlds? I think it's not a really well-known game, but I remember I was obsessed with that game when I was little. Elio does not know how to avoid bad endings. I really don't. Oh, I suppose I've been caught red-handed. Why does this have to be a secret? Does it have to do with Karma's curse? But he's not in his disguise now. He could have been working on breaking our curses today, but no. He decided that staying up late into the night and practicing was more important. You're talking about games you liked as a kid. Interesting, yeah. We were talking about like PS2 games, GameCube games, Game Boy Advance games, Wii games. I think it's really interesting to know what games you like as a kid. It kind of shows the kind of stuff that you like and you grew up liking. I'm not saying that you know how to flirt with people, but in your defense, a lot of the things Lucette does would not count as flirting. Okay, you're right. Well, our protection is vital, don't you think? Yarian, you were at the palace. How is it that Karma possesses more skill with the sword than you? Princess. Karma is special, Princess. He's more talented with the sword than a lot of other people. And I do pride myself on being a splendid instructor. But never fear, Princess. I will help you dispel your curse. After all, you did just suggest that we were still partners. Oh, and I know that they're kind of not RPG games, but I really like Harvest Moon. I grew up playing all of the Harvest Moon games on like the GameCube and the PS2. Those were definitely really big games for like my life. Really impactful on my life because I would get along with my cousin. That was like the one game series we bond over. We'll try again tomorrow, darling, but for now, Garland and I have some more work to do. This time, Garland, do not lose focus. Yes, sir. The sound of swords carries through the night air, and for a long while, I stand with Delore watching the two men fight. Karma chides Garland often, telling him that his concentration is waning. Karma is a good swordsman, perhaps even better than the Palace Knights. His nimble swordplay repeats again and again in my head, even when I return to the tavern for the night. Oh, another dream sequence. Her mom being an asshole again. Lisette, I've told you before that the Knights are an unruly bunch. Oh, how could I forget Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games? I spent so much time on that game trying to get all the emblems. Oh, I always wanted to play those. I only played the DS game. But, Mother, they're so much fun to watch. God, not this again. Booba? I mean, what? You looking at her mom's booba, Goldie? Shame. He can use swords. Cool. Yeah. He's a knight in shining armor. They are dangerous, Lisette. Any person with a sword has the potential to use it on you. But Father says that those knights are supposed to protect me. Did y'all hear something? Yeah, Goldie, same. I mean, shame. Y'all? Thanks for the hydrate, Goldie. That they are, as that is their order, but as people, they may not be so good, Lucette. Not so good? The king has told you that the knights are meant to use swords to protect you, but you cannot trust them completely. Stop being thirsty, Elio, hydrate. Yo, you stop being thirsty. You hydrate yourself, Goldie. Even though Father said that they would keep me safe? Sometimes the people we trust are the most deceitful. And a man with a sword has a weapon to use against you. No matter what he says, be wary that he can turn on you. Also, I just remembered, have any of you ever played, like, those anime-based games? Like, I know Twi mentioned, like, Bleach and Naruto, but has anyone here ever played the RPG games for Full Metal Alchemist or Inuyasha? Because they did have RPG games for them on the PS2. I think Inuyasha was, like, the secret of the mask. And then Full Metal Alchemist had 2 games. Like, the Broken Angel and then another one. I didn't even know they existed. Yeah, there were like a bunch of like anime-based RPG games like on PS2 era. I remember I really liked Inuyasha. They have some on the DS too. I played them a bit. Ooh. Yeah, I've only played one Inuyasha game. I owned one of the Full Metal Alchemist RPG games, and then another friend owned one of them, and I played it for a little bit. I really liked the Inuyasha one, but I couldn't get really far in it. Haven't I told you before that you should not trust people? But the knights are... Even knights can be treacherous, Lucette. Do not trust a man with a sword. He can be dangerous. I was also stuck in the Inuyasha game. Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh, another game that I really liked that I got stuck on, like, which was unfortunate, was Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Whichever one was on PS2, where you play as the blue-haired guy. I got stuck on that one. I don't even know if it's the same one. It's the one where you can choose your gender. I know. Like, you're another person from the same time era as Kaede, and you get sent back. And then, like, I think you could pursue a romance with the characters in it. Like, if you were a girl, you could pursue a romance with, like, yeah. Oh, did I say someone else? Yeah, I meant Kagome. But yeah, you could pursue a romance with, like, Inuyasha, Sesshomaru, and Miroku as a girl, I think. Oh, I said Kaede. Oh, shoot. And yeah, when you play as a boy, you can, date, what was her name? Sango? Kagome, and I forgot who else. Oh, Kikyo's sister, yeah. Try to understand, my sweet. I only want you to be safe. I remember I was really obsessed with Inuyasha when I was a kid. Like, my god, I had such a huge crush on Sesshomaru. Pretty sure you can date Sesshomaru too. Yeah, I think I was trying to date Sesshomaru. I got stuck. I couldn't play more of it. Yes, I understand. And another really difficult game. Have y'all ever heard of Ephemeral Fantasia? That shit, you need to have a guide to play that shit. Cause that's like time travel, and it is like, it's like Majora's Mask, but worse. Because you have to do stuff so on the dot, time-wise. Or else, oh my god, you have to start the whole game over again. You know what you need a guide for? Getting all the Jin and Golden Sun. Oh god. Girlfriends? Excuse me. Girlfriends? Yes, I'm here. I'm paying attention. Jurian, if you don't come at me like you truly mean to stab me, you'll never land a hit. Yeah, the title of this chapter is Girlfriends. What? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. It's been about 2 weeks since I first saw Karma here in the forest practicing with Garland. Karma's our girlfriend, confirmed? Yo, I was about to say that too, Goldie. I was like, yo, gonna date Karma? I've come here every night since then, though I never stay long as Karma, since I actually have work to do in the mornings. Same fucking hat as always, Elia would never change. Alright, here I come. Their two swords clash and Karma laughs as he throws Jurian back and taps her lightly on the shoulder with his sword. That makes 4 hits, and that one was easy. Is that the best you can do, Jurian? I noticed that every time Karma practices with Jurian, he's in his Miss Karma disguise. He says it's because of the curse and because he doesn't want Jurian to fall in love with him. Oh my god! Isn't he being overdramatic? I doubt someone like Jurian could fall in love with Karma. Does Jurian not know? Be subtle and quiet. Garland tells me that... What? No, Jurian does know. I guess he just really doesn't want Jurian to fall in love with him. Understandable. Be subtle and quiet. Garland tells me that you're usually good at that. I mean, if I saw Karma, like dressed up like this, I would fall in love with him, honestly. So, really bad choice there, Karma. I am, sir. Then, why the exception today? Sir. Darling, it wouldn't happen to be because of the way I'm dressed, would it? Are you still not used to it? Even if she knows, assuming that she's straight, then Karma looking like a woman would make it less likely that she falls for Karma? Why, I suppose so, yeah. I'm just the type of person where I fall in love with people and I don't even think about gender. I'm just like, yo, you looking fine. Hit the nail on the head, have I? It's not very chivalrous to hurt a lady, of course, but that logic applies to men as well. An enemy is an enemy, Jurian, even if your enemy is a delicate flower like myself. Delicate flower. Jurian, you should hit him on the head for that. But Princess, I'm so gay I actually had my gay awakening when I was in like 1st grade. I wrote like 2 girls in love with each other. I like drew little comics when I was a kid. And I did like a comic of like these 2 girls that were in love with each other. Like, I've never been straight. He's not delicate at all. Gay. Yeah, big gay. Jaren laughs and I scowl at her. I even remember, like, because I'm DFAB, I should say that when I would have sleepovers with other girls, I would, like, sit there at, like, the sleepover and I would be like, huh, I kind of want to kiss them. And this was me in 1st grade, okay? Is she laughing at me? You and Karma seem to get along. I was like, damn, they're cute. I kind of want to hold their hands. I doubt it. Oh, Princess, you wound me. You always say that. Lewd? Yeah, 1st grade me was super lewd. You wound me where Jurian's blade cannot. Hand-holding in 1st grade? It's more likely than you think. I told you about that time I had a crush on a guy when I was in elementary school and I kissed him on the hand, right? Something flashes in Jurian's eyes as she readies her sword again. Karma stands ready as Jurian rushes at him with her sword. Their swords clash again. 1st grade me was super lewd, right? You're totally not lewd now? No, I am not lewd at all. I am the very picture of pure. So you do like hands. Elio hand fetish, let's go. Listen, I was doing it as like a prince thing. Cause you know, like the princes always like kiss their hand, you know? So I had, okay, I guess I kinda am a tsundere when I get crushes on people, I guess. When I had a crush on this guy, I chased him with an umbrella and would try to hit him. And then I would be like, well, it's raining. Here's an umbrella. Like, what the fuck? What the hell? But yeah, one day I was like, hey you, close your eyes, dummy. And so he was like, you're not gonna hit me, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not. Unless you don't close your eyes. I'll punch you if you don't close your eyes, dummy. So yeah, he closed his eyes and I kissed him on his hand. Oh my god, Elio. Very picture pure, Elio. I wish Naya would pee on me. Laffy says what? Tsundere? Okay, Natsuki. Bro legit called the man dummy. Listen. Okay, I guess I am a tsundere. I wonder. Karma, your back's open. Karma turns, Jurian taps him on the shoulder and laughs aloud. I did it! A single hit! It looks like you have a weakness too, Karma. Ugh. No, it wasn't a weakness. It was a lack of sleep catching up with me. Why did he listen to me? He told Garland the other day that it was crucial to only listen and watch the most important things. Alright, practice is over for now. I can see Garland coming for his practice. Garma walks to a corner to have a drink. I should probably head back to the tavern soon, but there's something I want to see first. On her way out, Jurian gives a solemn nod to Garland. She pauses to say something to him and then looks at me, noticing my vague curiosity. I was just mentioning what a good swordsman Karma is. I've seen him fight and Karma is a good swordsman, there's no doubt about it, yet is practicing with him really so special? He's fast on his feet and quick with his reactions. BRB, but don't think for 1 second that I'll let that I am the very picture of pure comment slide. Well, looks like you're sliding out, so I guess you can let my comment slide too, me? He's an excellent person to train under, even better than most of the commanders in the palace. I can second that. Even better than Ross. Remember him? The first commander we trained under, the one that punished slow learning with extra exercises. You always had to do more exercises than I did. Something about you being distracted? I was watching the way you swung your sword to make sure you didn't hurt yourself. Okay, Garland. Okay, we see that, Blush. Hero, you've always been overprotective. Well, They both suddenly stop to look at Karma, who's smiling slyly on the slide. Why does he have that look on his face? 'Cause I'm pretty sure he knows that Garland has a crush on her. Well, that's a sign. I can't keep the commander waiting. Blushy, blushy, yeah. Garland's got a crush on Jurian. Garland shakes his head, his expression snapping back into something more serious. Right. The two exchange quick farewells before Jurian waves and steps out of the clearing, leaving Garland with Karma. You're in a dress today. Are you two really so opposed to hurting me when I'm in a dress? Or are you worried about ruining it? No. It's just so strange. You move so well even in a long dress. But, yes, Jurian did mention almost stepping on it once. Impossible. I am the picture of elegance. Just like I am the picture of purity. Of course, sir. Karma shrugs Garland's comment off. The two ready their swords, then get ready into practice. Jurian has taken over Garland's patrol now, so that Garland can get in some practice time. So, Garland, have you told Jurian yet? Oh! He's getting on to Garland about confessing. No. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Goldie! Thank you. The conversation that Karma always has with Garland is the real reason I stay behind to watch them practice. I don't understand why Garland answers Karma's questions if doing so makes him so depressed. Will you ever say anything to her, Garland? He's distracting him. Dirty tactics. Call the police. Well, hey, this isn't an officially sanctioned duel, so he can do whatever he wants. Why don't you just confess to her already? Jurian is the blonde girl, right? She does look good and cool. Yeah, Jurian is the blonde girl. I mean, understandable. She is really cute. Karma lands an easy hit on Garland. Garland, who sighs in response. Whenever Garland thinks about Jurian, he gets distracted. I don't understand his feelings at all, but seeing him remain quiet frustrates me. He's got a crush, okay? Let him live. Jurian is talented and poised. I can never be good enough for her. Oh, Garland. You'll never win a woman's heart if you don't compliment her looks as well, Garland. Oh, well, she's pretty too. Beautiful. And then there's... I feel like I can ship those two, especially with the blushy. Heck yeah, we get in on that. The Garlian ship. I hope that she tells her. Oh, me? Oh, he's got like self-deprecation, thinking that he doesn't deserve to be with her. Oh. Aren't they both knights? Haven't they been training together for a long time? Say something to her. I can see why you wouldn't tell her. I don't want to say the other one. That's mean. This one, I can see why you wouldn't tell her. That's mean. I hope that's not the right option. Just say something to her. I hope that's the right option. I don't want to be mean. Well, all you ever do is talk about her. Even Karma says your concentration is lacking because she's always on your mind. So just tell her. If she doesn't like you back, then that's it. If she doesn't like me back. Confessions are hard, Princess. Very tedious. I'm back, Elio. I read a ton of ecchi manga as a teen lappy. Hey, that's a low blow. But welcome back, Twi. So, you missed Garland seems to have a crush on Jurian. And he seems to look down on himself and doesn't think that he deserves to be with Jurian. I hope he can confess to her. You're only saying that because you're dramatic about everything. The very nature of love is dramatic, darling. Karma would definitely be a theater kid. But enough idle chatter, sir. Let us continue our training. Karma reminds me of this one person in theater class specifically. They were very extra. They were very loud. They would break out into sing songs, and they would call people darling. They called me honey. Yeah, that's Karma. Karma's a theater kid. I end up staying longer than I intended. By the time I consider returning to the tavern, Garland and Karma are wrapping up for the night. I have a question for Karma, so I wait until Garland leaves before I approach him. You're still here, Princess. Were you seeking out alone time with me by chance? You know it! I have enough of that every day when we run errands. I just have a question for you. You always come to the right person. What can I do for you, Princess Lucette? You ask Garland the same question every time you train. He always tells you that he cannot confess. Karma nods in acknowledgement, but his attention is on his sword. Oh, I missed a personal attack? Gotcha. He inspects it carefully before sheathing it. They sound like an interesting fucking person. Yeah, I really like them. They were fun. I had English class with them too, and it was nice to have a theater kid in English class. We would always pair up for like reading stuff in class. We were always the ones in our English class because they would be like, "Oh, we need someone to read," and it was always me and them waving our hands like, "Oh, let me read, let me read." It frustrates me. You're frustrated. I never liked reading in class, but whenever it was English or theater, I would always be like, "Oh, let me read. I want to try acting it out." Oh my. It's annoying. Did you want to ask me why he won't confess because you're so frustrated? But yeah, they were a really good actor. I saw one play that they were in my college, and they killed it. They were the highlight of that play. They were so energetic and so in character and so entertaining. It was so good. Yes. I suppose after almost 2 months, I do know you a bit better. You do not know anything about me. And I do not know anything about karma either. Confessing isn't easy, dear Lucette. Surely you must realize that the possibility of rejection is a significant deterrent. Yeah, I know that more than anyone. That's why I don't tell people I have feelings for them. But if you never ask, you never get an answer, and the stress of worrying stays with you and ruins everything. Oh, this is a personal attack. Why are you staring at me? I know the childhood games ended a while ago, but it's a crime that I didn't mention Fire Emblem Blazing Blades and Sacred Stones. Oh god, same here. Radiant Dawn was my childhood game. That was like the first Wii game I ever owned. My mom got that for me for my birthday. So, it has a very special place in my heart. Nikaya, my beloved. Is that the reason you're so blunt, Princess? Blunt? You're far more blunt than I am. Okay, listen, Lisette, that's a low blow. You're feeling attacked too, Twy? Princess Lucette, you truly are amusing. You're as sharp as a knight's blade. I am not amusing. And that is a matter of opinion, darling. He really is insufferable. And yet I still come to him for advice. The scariest part of a confession is the possibility of rejection. Can you imagine loving someone and then finding out that they don't feel the same way about you? Oh. My thoughts shift to the king. My chest tightens. Princess Lucette? Karma reaches out a hand to brush a strand of hair out of my face. I slap it away without realizing. He pulls his hand back with a gentle sigh. My apologies, Princess. Haha, unrequited feelings couldn't be me. This is an attack. No, I cannot imagine. No? Loving someone and finding out that they do not feel the same way? I always knew my father never loved me. My understanding is different from what Karma is referring to. Besides, I no longer hold any love in my heart for the king. I've already given up hope on him. Right? It's a good thing you haven't experienced a rejected love, Princess. It's one of the worst feelings. Karma asked to be alone, so I returned to the tavern by myself that night. So I guess Karma has been rejected before. So Karma had romantic feelings for someone and got rejected. Interesting. I don't know why I agreed to this when nothing changes. Today I'm once again out in town with Karma, running errands. Since we've been partners, he insists on me coming with him every day. Oh my god. I just realized I don't think I got the light up crystal for this, so I have to be mean? I have to say this? Oh no. Because she's better than me. On a totally unrelated not, can I report a video game for doxing me? Just like Rod, the unrequited feeling part. Karma was probably rejected directly, unlike Rod. Yeah. No, because if you told her and she refused, then it would be different after. It would be difficult afterwards. You understand, Princess? Of course I understand. I'm not stupid. No, I didn't mean it like that. Don't take offense, Garland. That's just the way she talks. Princess is a fragile flower with her petals always curved inward. I'm not stupid, she's not? What does that even mean? See, if it were Durian, she'd probably know, but I'm just as confused as you are. Lucette confirmed for stupid? I don't think so. I don't think anyone understands half of the fluff Karma speaks. Also, oh my god, my stomach is growling so hard. I need to eat. It's because I weave love and dedication into every single one of my words. There's a beauty in deciphering them. But enough idle chatter, sir. Let us continue our training. Oh, time to skip forward then. Oh, no. Not that button. This button. What does that even mean? Listen, Lucette, you struggled for months. How to do a good deed? Yeah, Lucette really has no, place to criticize here. Today, I'm once again out in town with Karma, running errands. Since we've been partners, he insists on me coming with him every day. Why do you need a new dress? Because a lady needs all kinds of dresses in her closet. Variety is key when you want to make a good impression. Yes, Karma, I agree. Why would you want to make a good impression on people in a disguise? A disguise is meant to conceal you. It doesn't exist to be flaunted. Listen! Maybe Karma likes to look good. And praise be to him if that's true. 'Cause he do be looking good. Oh no, darling. I only wear the disguise to stop the curse from working on people. It's not really meant to conceal anything, but the fact that I am a man. Being doted on by a married woman, or by a woman in love with another man, is especially troubling. Okay, so it's... if Karma appears as a man and is around a woman, the woman falls in love with him? Is that how his curse works? Is the curse really that powerful? Karma leads me over to the dress store and our conversation pauses when he goes to the store owner to give specifications for a new dress. When we leave, Karma suggests going someplace to reward me for all my hard work. Well, Karma's been taking all these steps to prevent people from falling in love with him. But I'm already in love with him, so he failed there. You treating me? Why wouldn't I, darling? You've been helping me for a while now. Oh my god. He even treats you to meals? He's checking off every box for me. What is this feeling? Gratitude? Karma does owe me for everything that I've done for him, so why do I feel like this? You know, it'd be much easier for you to just help me carry bags. Oh, there. Let me buy one of those cupcakes. Karma Glucose Guardian. Oh my god, I love that. Glucose Guardian. Karma cuts through my suggestion easily. Does he really dislike work so much that he'd rather pay me off for helping him? No, listen! Karma's just being a good person. Karma's just being nice to you. Right? Karma takes me to a stand showcasing all kinds of cupcakes. There are some with colored frosting, others with fancy decorations. God, this is making me hungrier. Do I have anything I can munch in my room right now? Ugh. Some are especially eye-catching, like a bright blue cupcake decorated with little stars. Oh, I love that. Anything catch your fancy, ladies? That's the kind of cupcake I would buy. All of them, actually. Alas, I do not think eating them all would be good for my diet. God, I wish I didn't just have an EBT. Oh, I would totally DoorDash some groceries right now. So hungry. I want some cupcakes. What do you think, princess? We'll share one. I turned back to the cupcakes, which I realize are big enough to share between two people. Am I choosing one for myself, or one that Karma would like? I guess he is treating me, but 2 cupcakes catch my eye. Oh god, is this gonna be a choice? Sugar mommy / daddy? Boring, repetitive, overused. Glucose guardian? Non-gender? New? Fresh? Makes you sound smart? Perfect. Yeah, glucose guardian is great. Yeah, let's stop calling people sugar mommy and daddy. We're gonna call him glucose guardian. One has a tiny little creature standing on the top of the frosting. It seems to be a little lizard of sorts. Though it is strange, the color reminds me of Karma's dress. Oh god, this is gonna be like the ultimate choice here. What cupcake should I buy? The other cupcake is decorated with little white chocolate pearls. Those pearls are small and somehow cute. Karma might like the other cupcake? Oh, so it's between those two. Which would you like, Lucette? Okay, if this were me, I would choose the cupcake with the pearls, because, I don't know. It's got, like, white chocolate pearls? Is that what? I feel like the game is telling me to choose what Karma likes. But I should choose what I like, right? I shouldn't choose something just to please someone else, right? Why are you having ellipses, Goldie? I'm gonna go with the cupcake with the pearls. I'm gonna buy what I wanna buy. I wanna eat what I wanna eat. I'll have that one. Princess, I didn't know you liked such cute things. Karma Chameleon? Lizard bestie? Cupcake. I shouldn't choose something just to please someone else, he says while playing an otome game. Listen. Can we just get both, right? Can we just buy all of them, please? That's precious, darling. See, Karma's gonna think we're cute, because we bought that one. I hope he doesn't tease me about this later. Let's go enjoy this somewhere else, shall we? Elio, I am letting you know it was the lizard indeed. Damn it! Okay, I guess I really do have to say the things that make them happy, I guess. I guess it's not about me. It's not about my individuality. It's not about me getting what I want to eat. It's about me getting what Karma would like to see me eat, I guess. Karma wants me to vor him, I see, is the message here. I'll have that one. The one with the... Oh my, is that a chameleon? A chameleon? It is a chameleon! Oh, that's adorable! Sir, we'll take one of those. I was thinking you'd like it for the colors, not the chameleon. Whatever that is. Let's go enjoy this somewhere else, shall we? Yo, do you like... Oh, what was that one... There's like this one chameleon that I loved, or like this one reptile that I really loved. Oh, I gotta remember the name. Once I find that name, we're gonna have another hyperfixation moment of me talking about animals. Because I do that sometimes. Like with the... Did I have a hyperfixation hour on the African spotted dog during Cinderella Phenomenon 2? Because I know I had an animal hyperfixation during one of these games. I think it was during Cinderella Phenomenon, actually. Or was it Devil Survivor? This is an otome game, obviously. It's not about you. Animal fixation hours, let's go. We love those hyperfixation moments. You mentioned it, but I don't remember which game. It was one of these two, I think. But yeah, let me look up this lizard. I'm trying to remember the lizard. It's like a really rare species. They're in danger of being extinct. God, it's like I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. Cause it's so cute. It's so cute. It's not the Komodo dragon. If anyone is thinking, oh, the Komodo dragon, no. Komodo dragon is like the basic extinct, close to being extinct lizard. Everyone knows what a Komodo dragon is. What? God, I can't remember their name. They're so cute though. They got like little spikes on their back and everything. They're so cute. They're so cute. I love them. God, I want to find them. Where are you? Where are you? I'm sorry. I'm like looking up lizards right now because I'm trying to find him. Oh my god, the dwarf day gecko is so cute. Okay, that's another one that I really like. Where is my lizard? Where is my lizard? Gosh. I can't find it. I'm gonna write a note in my phone when I remember that lizard, because we're gonna talk about that lizard. We really are. We're gonna have a whole discussion about that lizard whenever I remember its name. I remember everything about it. I see that lizard in my head, and it's so cute with the little spikes and everything. Like, oh my god. Anyway. Carmen leads me to the middle of the plaza, and the two of us find a table. He walks off to get a fork and a knife before returning and handing a set to me. Do I really need a knife and fork to eat a cupcake? So, before we got you dressed and you distracted me with cupcakes, and then we started talking about lizards, we were talking about your curse. Worry, it's not an interesting topic. I was glad that we had gotten off that tangent, to be honest. Why don't you want to talk about it? You have a secret just like I do, Princess. But the whole point of pairing up is to help each other with our curses. Princess, you want to help me? Only because it's necessary that I help him so he can help me. I haven't made any progress helping you, though. You said you would provide me with opportunities. I'm not very good at that, am I? I'm sorry, Princess. I like how Karma calls Lucette Princess. It's cute. But Princess, you've been helping me for the last few weeks. Whether or not that's an obligation, you still are good company. Good company? No one's ever told me that before. They only chide me for being difficult to speak with. Karma starts cutting the cupcake, his knife sliding through frosting and cake with ease. Oh my god, it's so cute! Look at the little lizard! The little chameleon! I've definitely never seen such refined manners for a simple dessert. Yeah, I'm guessing Karma's like royalty somewhere or something. What was your life like before the curse, Princess? I have no need to tell you any of that. Yeah, the cupcake! It looks delicious! I love the little chameleon! I love the little face! Oh, so we can't talk about that lizard that I was thinking about because I can't remember the name. But have you guys seen Rupel's fox? I just remembered it. Rupel's fox popped up in my head. And I saw the little ears, and I'm sorry, I had to have another hyperfixation. I'm sorry, I've been thinking too much about animals the past few minutes. But have you guys seen Rupel's sand fox? I'm not sure if I'm saying the name right. But Rupel with the 2 dots over the U, Rupel's fox. They're so cute. They're like really thin. They got like the tiny head with the tall ears. They're so cute. They're like they live in the desert. They're a sand fox. That's a term for like foxes that live in the desert. And I forgot what area they're found in. But they are so cute. They are so cute. God. No, it's not necessary, but I'm curious. Hold on. Can I show you guys Rupel's fox for a second? There's also Rupel's vulture too. Rupel's vulture is a nice animal too. Let me show you Rupel's fox. Oh my god, they're so cute. They are so cute. I love canids. I love foxes. I love foxes so much. Arctic foxes are so cute. I'm sorry. I know we're not playing the game, but please look at Rupel's fox. Look at Rupel's fox. It's so cute. Look at his big ears. Look at his big ears and his tiny little feet. His bushy little tail. Oh, they're so cute. Oh. North Africa, Middle East, and Southwestern Asia. Yeah, I remember it being Southwestern Asia, but can't remember all of the areas that they're located in. But they're so cute. What does the fox say? Oh, fennec fox. Yeah, I love fennec foxes. I love fennec foxes so much. They're so cute. Oh my god, I could just buy them food and kiss them all day. Also, have you guys seen the Tibetan sand fox? They're so... I love foxes so much. Arctic foxes, Tibetan sand foxes, Rupel foxes, Bengal foxes, kit foxes, fennec foxes. Oh, I could die. I could die. I literally could die if I could see a fox. I would die. I would ascend. But especially Arctic foxes. They are so cute. They are so cute. They're monogamous. Arctic foxes are monogamous. Did you know that? That means they mate for life. They do not fuck around. They find their love of their life and they stick with them for life. They're so cute. They are so cute. I love Arctic foxes. And they tend to like climb up into high areas. They tend to like sleep in trees and stuff. They love to jump and play around. Oh my god, they're so cute. Anyway, back to the game. This was Elier's Hyperfixation Hour featuring foxes. Would I be doing a good deed in telling them? I don't think so. I can't believe Arctic foxes are so much better than humans. Actually, I can 100% believe that. Yeah, we don't deserve Arctic foxes, honestly. Arctic foxes are too good for us. They're too good. How about we trade off fact for fact? You give me a story today, and I'll give you one tomorrow. What makes you think I'm interested in your life? Well, you do keep asking me about my curse. Only because we're working on breaking our curses. Okay then, we won't talk about the past or any secrets. We can talk about this cupcake instead. Yes, let me look at that lizard again. Let me try to figure out what species of that chameleon is. What? Why does he always insist on changing the topic? Also, on the topic of fennec foxes, sorry, I just want to give fun animal facts for a moment. I'm sorry. But since fennec foxes are like, they are also sand foxes, so I think they're mostly found in like the deserts of Africa, if I recall correctly. And they have to find a way to cool down because they're surrounded by heat. And they can pant with thousands of breaths per minute. And their large ears help cool their body. Aren't they so good? They're so cute. They're so cute. And they eat scorpions? They eat scorpions. What? Oh my god, I love fennec foxes. Anyway. Karma cuts the chameleon on top in half. I noticed that he gives himself the head, which is a lot cuter, while I get stuck with the tail. Chameleons are little lizards that can blend into their surroundings. Oh my god, do you like animals too, Karma? Can you tell me about your hyperfixations? Can you remember if I described the one lizard that I couldn't remember the name of? Could you tell me the name? You look like a person that would tell me. Is he trying to go this far to avoid the subject? When I was a child, my father used to call me a chameleon. What? I hid a lot to avoid responsibilities. Oftentimes, no one could find me, not my father, nor my servants. If he had servants, then that makes him a noble? I was right. I knew he had to be, like, rich or something. A nobleman, a prince, something. One day I was out searching for a mythical creature in our garden, and I came across a chameleon. It was this small, silly little lizard, but I'd only found it because I was looking for something fantastic. The lizard on the cupcake does not seem all that fantastic. Karma chameleon. Carmelian. My father explained what it was to me, and then he started calling me his silly little chameleon. At least he didn't call you his meow meow. A chameleon, that's so cute. Of all the animals to get compared to, a chameleon. I mean, I guess there are some negative connotations to being told that you're a chameleon, because you're like, oh, you just blend in with your surroundings, but chameleons are so cute. It was ridiculous, but he said that I was always very good at hiding, and so it suited me. What is it, princess? It seems that you're still good at hiding. You hide behind your disguise and keep many secrets. I suppose I'm still a chameleon, then. I don't think that nickname makes any sense. Sometimes they don't have to. Nicknames don't have to make sense to be endearing, princess. Can we please just get back to the subject on hand? Yes, this cupcake. If you insist on sharing a story for a story, then I'll tell you something about me. I love fennec foxes. Did you know that? I love Arctic foxes. You don't seem the type to want to share. I normally do not see any reason for sharing things about my past, no. But listen, did you know how fennec foxes cool down? Mother once told me that to confide in someone else was a weakness. But more than that, I was always worried that others would judge me. No one has ever wanted to listen to me. I know enough about others' opinions on me to know that they think I'm the one at fault. Always. I wouldn't judge you, princess. I mean, I wouldn't judge you for not wanting to say anything to me. I divulge nothing to you after all. A story for a story. That's the deal, right? I expect you to keep at it. Oh, speaking of, since we're talking about chameleons, I'll give you guys a chameleon to go Google and take a look at for yourself, because I just remembered one of the chameleons' names. Bizarre-nosed chameleon. look that one up. Go give that one a good old round of the Google. I'll repeat it again. The bizarre-nosed chameleon. Look that one up. Can you guess why it's called the bizarre-nosed chameleon? Or rather, a fact for a fact. It's not like I have to tell him everything, just something about myself. I'll tell you about my life at the palace. Oh, what a surprise! Its nose is bizarre! I love the bizarre-nosed chameleon. So cute. It's not as if it's a secret, though I doubt Karma would understand. Ever since Mother died, the palace has been a cold place. Oh, guys, I think I'm gonna have to end here for now. I just got a text. It's the results came in for the testing. One of my cousins that I live with has COVID. I just got the text message from my cousin saying that he has COVID. You okay? Oh no, I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah. So I haven't gotten the results back from my uncle or me yet, but pretty sure that means I might have COVID too. But yeah, I'm so sorry. It's okay. I hope that everyone in the family can recover, but like no one's really been taking precautions other than me, really. So, I'm just feeling a bit frustrated now that I heard that. But yeah, sorry to be ending on such a dire notice. And we were having a lot of fun talking about animals too. I hope you don't feel any symptoms. I'm not feeling bad. I'm not feeling sick. But yeah, I'm a bit worried now. That was news I was afraid of hearing. It's okay, thank you for streaming, Elio, no problem. Thank you for coming by, Goldie, Twy, and everyone else that's watching. Thank you guys so much. I will update you guys on schedule for next week, but don't be surprised if I wind up having to take that week out because of the possibility of me getting sick. But yeah, please, guys, please take care of yourselves, alright? Please be sure to eat, drink, and take your medication. And try not to get sick, okay? Thanks for the stream. Yeah, your health is more important. Thank you. You guys take care, alright? And I'll see you guys later, alright? Bye-bye, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.